You've just graduated from college and you've decided to move in with your parents, but now you're worried? Should you have moved in? Guess the question is, how do you manage the transition into your family structure and family dynamics after graduating college? I'll tell you how. Choosing to return home is not an easy choice, especially if you've already imagined a wonderful life of independence. But here you are, graduating into a competitive job market during a pandemic with skyrocketing rent prices and murmurs of an incoming recession. If you can move in with your parents, it is a smart choice given the current state of affairs. I'm going to share with you 4 tips on how you can integrate into your family structure and dynamics without losing your independence and autonomy. It is very easy to return home and to return to old family dynamics where you were a young child and your parents dictated what you did. And we don't want that. We want you to be an independent adult when you return home. Tip 1. Develop an action plan. The best way to return home is to arrive with an action plan. The action plan would outline how you want to spend your time while you're living with your parents. It would outline your personal goals, your professional goals, your relationship goals, and even goals around leisure, fun, and pleasure and rest. It should also include any agreements that you've made with your parents before returning home. Some of you will have parents who are going to take you back. They're going to be thrilled, excited. There's no strings attached. You just come home and they're going to take care of you. And you can stay for as long as you want. Some of you will be welcomed back by your parents, but they're going to want to know that you have a plan for starting your career, jump-starting your adulthood. Some parents are going to allow you to return home, but they're going to have some very clear rules and expectations for you. Regardless of which parent you have, I don't want there to be any confusion, and I also don't want you flailing around at home. I want you to have your goals and your agreements laid out on a paper. This action plan will keep you organized, focused, and accountable to yourself and to your parents. I created a template that you can download at the link below. So go ahead and grab it, and it goes into more detail than I can cover in the video. Generally speaking, what should an action plan have? Well, time frame. How long do you want to stay with your parents? Do you want to stay a few weeks? Do you want to stay a few months, a year, or more? Should lay out what goals you want to achieve or reach while you're with your parents. Short-term and long-term goals. Are you just returning to rest and recover, reconnect with friends and family? Are you looking to have a part-time job at the city that your parents reside? Or are you looking to start or look for a job in the career that you want and you're just staying home until you find that? Or do you want to return home and do some traveling for a year? Once you have your list of goals, it is important to attach a timeline or a time frame. And you can go as specific as you want with dates, identify dates, or broadly and stick to kind of months. That's up to you. But once you have your goals and once you've identified kind of a general time frame, then you're going to need to break down each goal into tasks. And these tasks are what you do on a daily basis while you're staying with your parents to meet those goals and reach those goals and milestones that you've set for yourself. For example, most of you graduated in May. So you spent May resting, reconnecting with friends, catching up with the people in your community, rebuilding those networks. Come June, you're updating your cover letter, you're updating your LinkedIn profile, and doing resumes, looking for jobs to apply. In July, you continue to apply, you attend networking events, but you also want to incorporate a little bit of travel, a little bit of fun because it's summertime. If this portion is bringing up a lot of questions, put them down in the comment section. This video is a part of a series of videos that I'm going to do, so subscribe to the YouTube channel and download the template. It has more questions and more detail. Tip 2, establish a predictable daily routine. How rigid your routine is will depend on the type of parent that you have and that the quality of that relationship. Parents who perceive lounging, resting, leisurely activities as laziness, they're likely going to want to see you moving from sunrise to sundown. So I want you to be mindful of their expectations and unnecessary pressure. And I want you to carve out space for yourself and for rest, joy. The goal of establishing a predictable daily routine is to visibly show to your parents that you're actively engaging and moving forward in your adulthood and in your career choices, and that you're not stalling or delaying or avoiding the real world. You want to be showing how you are actually preparing for that real world. I'm italicizing real world because I've seen a lot of parents tell their kids that they're not ready for the real world. Once you leave the nest to go to college, you're already adulting. You may be struggling and stumbling in college through the whole entire process, but you've already started the process of turning into an adult that's able and capable. And so we want to remind your parents that you are now an adult. And I think this is really important because it takes a reframing in your parents' mind that takes them from seeing you as a child to seeing you as an adult. Most of us have this kind of bias to remember our friends or our siblings or even our children as younger than they truly are. And it came to mind when I was at work and my colleague was asking me about my brother. He's 6 years younger than me. In my mind, who he was stuck in a middle school age. And when she asked me how old he was already past 21. And it was a little shocking for me to realize that he had grown up, but that I was still talking and communicating about my brother as a child, and he was no longer a child. But because I had participated a lot in the raising, he was a child-like sibling to me. And so in my mind, he had not grown up. And it's really easy for your parents to receive you from college and to not realize that you've grown and that you've changed and that you are able and capable. So having this kind of routine allows them to see you as an independent, autonomous person. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. The next 2 tips are going to help you more with this new perception. I want you to write down this predictable daily routine in your game plan and to kind of share it with your parents. What would a predictable morning routine look like? It should be clear. How early are you going to be waking up? Is there a rhythm, a pattern to your presence at home? Are you waking up at 7 in the morning, at 9 in the morning, at noon, in the afternoon? What should your parents expect to see you, or what are they going to be telling you to do? What happens after you wake up? Are you going to wake up to go to a part-time job? Are you going to wake up to go to the coffee shop to work? Are you going to wake up and eat breakfast and kind of lounge around for the afternoon because you work better in the evening and the days are just not suited for your productivity? Your parents should kind of know a little bit about you in that respect. If you don't plan to work, are you committing to doing chores around the house? And when would your parents see that? What time frame during the day would they be seeing you doing chores? Once you've laid out all your goals and broken down your goals into a task list, each one of them, every day you should be pulling 3 tasks at the minimum or less, depending on your energy, and trying to complete them during the day. Another one should be dinner time. Do your parents expect to see you during dinner time? Are they waiting for you, or do you all do independent dinner? My parents would want to see me at dinner. What they also want to know is, when am I not going to be home? Am I not going to be home on Fridays because that's my day to hang out with friends and reconnect with my network? Those are the kind of things that you want your parents to kind of know. What is the rhythm on a weekly basis? What we're doing here is establishing a predictable daily routine that's tied to a list of diverse tasks and activities to reduce your parents' anxieties about the future and to show them that you can handle real world or real life. Tip 3 is to manage your parents' big expectations. It's likely that you've already experienced people sharing their expectations with you, telling you what things should look like, feel like, how fast you should be moving. Your parents will do the same. They will give you advice and they will make big assumptions about what you should be doing, by when, and even how. It will be your responsibility to right size those big expectations, unfortunately. This is an important message for those of you who are first generation college grads and professionals and children of immigrant parents. Your parents will likely not know enough about the job market, your industry, your career goals, and your career path. And they won't be equipped to give you very concrete or proper advice around how things should be moving. And unfortunately, they may put a lot of pressure on you because they're making these really big assumptions about how fast things should be going, and may want to blame you for the lack of movement that's happening. And so I don't want you to receive and carry that. The way that you're going to manage their unrealistic expectations and their anxieties about the future, or kind of the challenges that you're facing, is going to be with the truth. I want you to bring them into the process that you're experiencing and to share kind of the challenges or the truth about a process, so that it's clear to them that you are doing your part, you are taking action, but that even if you wished it was faster or that the outcome was different, that you wishing and putting in effort is not going to guarantee a positive result. And so the more that they know about the process, the less likely they are going to impose really big expectations, and hopefully they will be able to manage them and right size them. Here are some examples. When they say things like, you should be getting callbacks, you'll say, that's not the experience in my friend group. We're all submitting applications and kind of waiting. When they say, you should be interviewing already, Hannah's already interviewing, you say, actually, it takes 15 to 30 days or longer for your resume to be reviewed nowadays. I completed an application on Tuesday and the job posting doesn't close until the end of the month. I likely won't hear from X company for 30 or more days. It's all about a waiting game right now. When they say, Jane, Marisol got a job last week and she's in your field, you say, that's great for her. I should reach out to her and ask her if she did anything different than what I'm doing. Or if she just did what I'm doing and got a job and kind of waited it out until the opportunity presented itself. As you can see in those examples, we were really talking about the truth about the challenges, about the process, about the experience. And if you do not share those challenges or logistical procedural things, they won't know. And it's really hard to manage expectations when you don't know. You need to be able to share these kinds of challenges that you face as you're working through your goals while you're at home. A bright spot about doing that, even though it could feel a little bit draining, is that your parents will know a little bit more about the actual work that you're putting in, but they may also be more informed and more supportive of other people as well. So if you have siblings, they may be less likely to impose really big expectations. Not only will it improve your relationship and quality of life in your home, but it could also improve the quality of life and relationships your parents have with siblings or anybody that they speak. Tip 4 is to communicate with your parents, or over communicate with your parents. And this is a really important tip. You do not want to leave your parents in the dark. When parents don't know what's going on, they get anxious. And when they get anxious, they get nosy. And when they get nosy, they get in your business. They're asking, they're pushing, they are creating a sense of urgency and putting unnecessary pressure on you to resolve the issue. For those of you who have parents who are overbearing, and your inclination is always to kind of close the door, keep them at a distance because it's too much, it may be more useful to bring them into a little more of your life and the process, so that they don't get so anxious. Your parents, day to day, they're gonna observe you in the home. And there's gonna be the things that they see with their eyes. You are going to the kitchen, you are watching TV, you are playing video games, you are on the computer. There are the things that they will see. And if that's all they see, you playing video games, you are on the computer, you're just hanging out with friends, you're constantly going out all the time, they're going to start to panic because of all the invisible things they don't see. The fact that maybe you're up late to midnight working on your resume and cover letter, but they didn't see that. You didn't share that. All of the invisible things that you do on a daily basis that you don't share or that they don't see. So you may be going out during the day and socializing and enjoying the freedom that you get with graduation, and doing all the hard labor at night when everybody's asleep or you're in your room. And they may not be seeing that, but they are judging and observing about what's visible. So we want to make the invisible visible. And the only way to do that is that they know and that they see what you're doing. When they know and they see what you're doing, they see you making forward movement, that you're taking action into your career goals or into adulthood, that you are growing and moving forward. The worst thing that a parent can see is a child who seems to be stalled. And it is a perception. A lot of the times parents do perceive their children as stalled because they don't see all the invisible work that their kids are doing. And I want to clarify that communicating with your parents is not about opening up your entire private life. When you're communicating, what you are doing is narrating what you are doing and why you are doing it. Your parents and people always want to know a why. The better that you can get at telling them what and why, the better that they can make those connections and see you moving forward. If you can share enough for them to feel like you're being thoughtful, you're making decisions that are thought through, that are intentional, and that you're processing information and taking action based on that information, that's how they'll start to change their perception of you from a child to an adult. So we really want to be showing all of that invisible work that you do on a daily basis. And we want to surround it with all of these activities that are around adulting, like paying your bills, like going to the bank, like going to the doctor. Before I share some examples, when you communicate with your parents, you must be truthful and trustworthy. This is not the time to lie to your parents. So if you are going to the library, go to the library. If you're going to go hang out with friends, go hang out with friends. And as a child and immigrants, I know that there may be a tendency to want to not share the truth because parents, even with parents who are hard to manage, the best thing that you can always do with them is to share the truth, even when they don't want to hear it. And I want you to be clear. So truthful, and I want you to be clear about what you're doing and why you're doing it. Okay, so every time you tell your parents something, I'm going to go do this, and why I'm going to go do it. so that they understand that everything that you do comes with an intention. There's a reason behind it. Another important point is to invest the time in correcting your parents' misconceptions or assumptions about anything, because it's part of managing the expectations. When your parents make a really big statement that just is feasibly not possible, I do want you to take the time to stop what you're doing, to look at them. You just have to say, actually, that's not the case anymore. What is true now is that this is how we do things. Investing in clarifying processes like that, it's over time will improve the way that you relate with your parents. So here are some examples of how you can communicate with your parents. Mom, I'm going to visit Rose tomorrow. We're going to work on our resumes. Mom and Dad, I'll be back. I'm going to the library to grab books on how to write a strong cover letter and resume. Mom, I'm going to go to dinner with Lily this Thursday. I haven't seen her in a while and I want to know how she's doing. Mom, Dad, I'm going to be busy next week. I'm going to spend most of my days at the coffee shop or at the library. Do you need me to do anything this weekend? The way that these statements are phrased are not about asking for permission, but about stating what you're doing and why. It is about connecting the daily actions that you're taking to adulting activities that are connected to your goals. The goal of all 4 tips is to give your parents enough information that if they got stopped at the grocery store and somebody said, hey, how is Rosamaria doing? Your parents could rattle off a long list of all the things that you're doing and how you're taking action every single day. You're being responsible. You are killing it at adulting. And the only way that they're going to know is if you share it with them. If you share that you're going to the coffee shop to work on your resume. If you share that you're going to friends to ask them for their advice around resumes or a connection, or that you're taking a virtual course online, or that you're attending a networking event, or that you're reaching out to faculty members. They're only going to know if you tell them. And so the more information that you can share with them, that then they can turn around and share with the people in their lives when they're asked about how great you're doing, the less stress they're going to feel about you, how fast you're moving, the pace that you're moving at. It will just demonstrate that day in and day out you're taking intentional action and that you are intentionally trying to move your career. It is really important for your parents to have the language, to have the understanding of what you're doing day in and day out while you're living with them. If they are in the dark and they don't know, all they can really say is like, Rosa, she moved in with me and she spends her days watching reality TV and hanging out with friends. And that may not be the case. Rosamaria may be killing it at the job search process, but if your parents don't know and don't see it, they won't be able to communicate that externally to people. And that's where a lot of the stress and tension that your parents push on you when you're home, when they're expecting you to look independent, to be independent. So there you have it, 4 solid tips to help you transition it into your family structure and dynamics without losing your independence and autonomy. So go create an action plan. Start working on setting a predictable daily routine. Start working on managing your parents' expectations, and do that by communicating. Tips 3 and 4 really are going to push you to improve your interpersonal communication skills. So invest the time. I know that it may feel overwhelming, like it's a little bit burdensome to go home and have to put in that work and effort when you've graduated from college and you're looking for rest. But it is an opportune time for you to improve those skill sets, because life really is about how you communicate with people. Anyways, I want to wish you good luck, and if you have any questions, you can put them down in the comment section. And I hope that you have a lot of fun as a recent college graduate.